So you did not know what home team this is. Welcome to the World Cup 2026 Notion template. Today I would like to explain the idea of Notion and databases, views, filters, and explain it to you through the World Cup. So we do have 3 different databases here, one for the stadiums, one for the games, and then the third one for the teams. So let's start with the stadium. The stadium, we have 16 stadiums. You can see the pictures here. I don't know what happened here. Anyways, we got the different views. This is the gallery view. Then the normal table view. Here is the stadium name. We got the city, where it is. Then the country, obviously, where it is on the map, and what matches are played in the stadium. Here on the side, I also put the capacity. This is where you can see here, below here, Toronto Stadium, 30,000 people capacity, roughly in Canada. So we got the gallery view, then the stadiums, normal database, table view, and then the last one is the map. Here we have a map, so we see where all these stadiums are. We can zoom out a little bit. So I also colored them differently. Green is Mexico, obviously. The 2 red ones are Canada, and the blue ones are America. Then going to the second database, to the games. This is here the calendar view. I want to show you something quickly. I just marked France blue in the calendar, so I see all the games when France is playing here on the 4th of July, 9th of July, and the next one here on the 14th, potentially here in the final again. But as soon as I remove France here out of the final, it is not blue anymore. So this is the calendar view, the view by the face as well, where they are at the moment. So group stage, round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, this is where we are right now. So, and as you know, all these games here after the group stage, they were all unknown in the beginning, so you did not know what home team this is and what away team this is. To help yourself to select them, I also put team 2, which is basically of group B, the second team, versus group A, also the second team. This goes on and on. So this is why you have here the real team, which is Spain here, and then the winner of the match of 93, if you just go down here, was the game between Portugal and Spain. So this is how you end up in these columns. View based on the results. For example, you can see here the game that ended most of the time was 1-1, 12 games. Here you see 9 games was like a 2-1. 2-0 was like 8 times, 0-0 8 times, 0-1, 0-1 8 times, and 1-0 6 times, and so on. And of course here, no results. These are still 4 games that need to be played. And then the list goes on and on and on and on, all the way to the end, where you only have like 1 result. Then I have another filter. This is filtered by the group. So all the group games in group A, they're all green here, as you can see. And you see there are 6 games. This is called like an aggressor, if I'm not wrong. So it counts all the games that are in this group. Not the calendar, but here this is grouped, not grouped, but this is by days. So you can see here in the last 7 days, we had these 8 games, as you can see here, 8 games. And in the last 30 days, we had 88 games. I also colored the games in the group stage based on their group. So group B is red, group A was green. And this makes it a bit more easier to see, okay, where is what team in what group playing. Here, for example, again, group A is always green, and here as well. And just down here, group A again, group E is completely white, and so on. So you can basically help yourself with colors to have a better overview. Then here, let me explain this team 1 and team 2. As I said earlier in the calendar, these teams were like unsure which one it is. So you had to select later on, as soon as you know, okay, the winner of group K was Colombia. So you're gonna get in there and look for Colombia. Here was another little helping thing, which is the K here. So you see group K, and they have 7 points in their group. I'm gonna tell you something about this later on, and as well here This is the end station, so this is when they got kicked out. Obviously, you did not know this in the beginning. These are all the games, so there are still these filters applied with the color. And you can see here group stage is over, and then the round of 32 starts. So you have these blue games basically, then the yellow games are coming, and then the quarterfinals are just over. You have these other 4, and here obviously you have to still select the right team. For example, this is game 101, France against Spain. So the winner ends up here in this column, either France or Spain, and then here this is where you put the loser in, meaning France or Spain as well. This is the last one. Here you see the table. This is grouped, so you know every team was in a group A, B, C, D, and so on. You can see the color. Red was they got kicked out in the group stage, and all the green ones, they got advanced to the next round. How I did this is with settings. I'm gonna go to conditional coloring, and of course you could do this only during the tournament because you did not know how many points you needed to be advanced, but at least 4. So every second team had at least 4 points, except Cape Verde. They had only 3 points, so I made an exception here and just made them in green. If they got kicked out, obviously they had the group stage, so they immediately red. And then with the goals, because it was a bit of a tricky situation, if you had a positive or a neutral goal difference, you were also advanced if you had at least 4 points. Another view, this is also a board view. You see the continents, and here you can see how many teams of each continent are still playing. The white ones are still on, meaning 3 in Europe, which is 20% of all the teams that started. In South America, it's only 14%, which is only 1 more team left. And North America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania, they're already eliminated. So we're gonna go over to the stages. This is pretty interesting as well. So you see each team when they got eliminated. And here are the teams that are still on. Obviously, one team is gonna be here, and then another one here, and then obviously we have a winner here as well. So you can just drag and drop them depending where they get kicked out. Here, this is the whole list of the countries that got kicked out. Here you can see the home team and the away team, and this is where they actually played against. So the home team were these 4 teams, and then they had 1 away game against Czechia. These were all the teams in the beginning. Obviously, you need to have a tick here to still be in here. For example, before Mexico was kicked out, they were still not here, meaning over here they had a tick, and as soon as they get kicked out, I removed it, so they're gonna end up over here. This is the template. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped, especially not only with the World Cup, also with getting new ideas and how to combine these different databases with different filters and how I use them. For example, World Cup, but you can also use them in a lot of different other settings. And if you want to have more ideas, just watch one of my other videos. And if you have questions or anything else, just leave me a comment or reach out to me. I'm looking forward. And thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.